with me because never have we had a gathering of so many members of the diplomatic corps under one roof here at NAFA, because I'm going to have to address you all by name. First of all, guest of honor, Ms. Lee Cholin, Director of the National Museum of Singapore. Ambassador of Mexico to Singapore, Your Excellency Antonio Villegas. Ambassador of Chile to Singapore, Your Excellency Fernando Danus. Ambassador of France, Your Excellency Olivier Caron. Ambassador of Panama, Your Excellency Jose Antonio Ruiz Blanco. Ambassador of Peru and friend of NAFA, Your Excellency Armando Raúl Patiño Alviso. Ambassador of Spain, Your Excellency Federico Palomera. Ambassador of the United States of America, Your Excellency David Edelman. And finally, but not least, Ambassador of Venezuela, Your Excellency Alfredo Toro Hardy. Distinguished guests and friends, a warm welcome to you this evening for the opening of the exhibition Tina Modotti, A New Vision, an inaugural collaboration between the Embassy of Mexico and the Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts. I remember being invited to a dinner at the Raffles Town Club by the Embassy of Mexico, where I was introduced to the photographic work of Pedro Vázquez Nieto on the architectural landscape of Guanajuato, a World Heritage Site, home of the Festival Internacional Cervantino and the birthplace of Mexican artists such as cinema legend Jorge Negrete and the Mexican muralist Diego Rivera. These stunning black and white photographs were hung in a dimly lit dining room, and although this added to the quaint flavor of the imageries, it still compelled me to ask the ambassador about how this exhibition came about and why it was installed in the dining room. That conversation would later lead to other exchanges between the Embassy of Mexico and NAFA, during which time the collaboration to exhibit the work of Tina Modotti was born. I am therefore honored and pleased this evening to realize this joint effort with the display of the 26 images so aptly described and given a historical background by Beatrice Nava, by the Italian-born Tina Modotti, whose photographic work in Mexico is universally known and lauded for qualities that are perhaps often overlooked in the digital age. The prints that you will see before you are silver gelatin prints, a photographic process through which images are exposed on paper containing gelatin layers and silver halides. The exposure captures the image through a light-sensitized process, creating areas of light and dark. Any remaining silver halide not used is washed off in a stopping bath, after which a fixer is applied to hold the image as developed. Tina Modotti shot with a 4x5 view camera and later with a 3x4 Graflex camera. These cameras are about this big. Okay. As a student of the American master Edward Weston, she picked up the photographic art in Mexico during the 1920s. It is widely regarded that the decades of the 20s and 30s herald an age of image making beyond the pictorialist, that is not merely of pure pictures or image documents, but that a modernist bent had arrived in the taking of images from various subject matter and environments, creating a more definitive ideal reflected by the range of the photographic process. By the 20s, the use of silver gelatin prints had become more sophisticated. Prior to that, the exposures were dry plate emulsion applications, whereas the availability of glossy and semi-glossy papers during the 20s and 30s created a whole new dimension of visual imagery. The art now demonstrated a compositional richness of transfiguration and texture made evident in the material quality, technique, and process of figuring and taking such photographs. I speak of these technicalities that our guests and visitors today can appreciate why we at NAFA, firstly, elect to exhibit photography, and secondly, the photography of artists such as Tina Modotti. In respect of the process, it is important to understand that as an art education institution, NAFA emphasizes the importance of heritage in all the arts, and that to know history is part of learning and developing contemporary expression. This includes the modern discipline of photography, which is well over a century old and has seen many revolutionary changes through time, through practice, through art. In respect of the artist, NAFA acknowledges the importance of articulating the globalized phenomenon that has enabled artists past and present to move seamlessly across geographies and harness the inspiration of communities and civilizations antinomous with their own origins. The Italian-born Tina Modotti is one such artist whose time in Mexico represents not only the apogee of her practice and her art, but also underlines her unique and sensitive relationship with its people, and its community over a specific and a very critical period of time in Mexican history. I am a keen believer in allowing images to speak for themselves. As such, I should end here so that you might enjoy the exhibition sooner. Please take the time to look at each image and with its reflection that you might find what the eccentric American photographer Diana Arbus referred to in photographs. A photograph, she said, is a secret about secrets. The more it tells you, the less you know. This exhibition would not have been possible without the involvement and the efforts of my team here at NAFA, Angeline, Alicia, Iris, Nicolette, and Priscilla, whom I must thank, and those, of course, of the Embassy of Mexico, Ms. Beatrice Nava, the Third Secretary for the Embassy, and Gabriela Hung. They have done all the work that we can enjoy this evening in celebration together. It remains for me to thank our guest of honor, Ms. Lee Cholin, for gracing our humble occasion this evening despite her busy schedule, and to thank the Ambassador of Mexico to Singapore, His Excellency Antonio Villegas, for his continued support of our current and future bilateral relations in the realm of art and culture. I wish you a pleasant evening.